What if the person meant for you, your soulmate, is already in your life, and you're missing the signs? We've all been taught to look for fireworks, passion, and over-the-top romance when it comes to love. But the truth? Real soulmates reveal themselves in quiet, powerful ways that often go unnoticed. And the craziest part? They do these things without you ever asking. No instructions. No how to love me guidebook. Just an instinctive pull toward showing up for you in the most unexpected and meaningful ways. This isn't about fantasy. This is about real soul-level connection. Because when two souls are truly aligned, the behaviors that come out are not only effortless, they're undeniable. And if you've ever wondered, is this person the one? These 9 signs will give you your answer. You're not here by accident. You clicked for a reason. Deep down, you're sensing something. A shift, a knowing. Maybe there's someone in your life who already makes you feel safe, seen, supported, but you haven't fully connected the dots. Maybe they've been doing little things you brushed off as nice or thoughtful, but in reality, those are the marks of someone who's deeply tuned into you, someone whose soul already recognizes yours. We're breaking it all down. From the subtle behaviors most people overlook to the deep energetic connection that only happens once, maybe twice in a lifetime. You're about to see your relationship in a whole new light. These aren't surface-level green flags. These are soul-level signs. And once you recognize them, you'll never unsee them. Your soulmate doesn't have to announce their presence. They don't show up with a sign around their neck saying, "Hey, I'm your forever." Instead, they show up in how they love you when you're hurting, in how they celebrate your weirdness, in how they show up when you least expect it, but need it most. And number 7 on this list? Most people would never associate it with soulmate energy, but it's one of the most powerful signals of all, and it might just change how you see love completely. So whether you're already in a relationship, talking to someone new, or single, but wondering if you've crossed paths with your forever person, listen closely, because these 9 signs will either confirm your intuition or open your eyes to something you never saw before. No drama, no guessing games. Just clear, quiet, soul-level knowing. By the end of this video, you'll know if your soulmate is already showing up in your life. And more importantly, you'll finally understand how to recognize it. Because love isn't always loud. Sometimes, it's the softest gestures that scream, "I'm meant for you." Let's start with the first one, because this might just be the thing you've been overlooking. A soulmate doesn't just hear you, they feel you. Here's how you'll know they're tuned into your energy. Tease, wait until you see number 3. Most people ignore this, but it's the biggest giveaway. There's a kind of connection that doesn't need translation. No explanations, no overthinking. Just this almost eerie sense that someone gets you on a frequency that words can't quite touch. That's what the unspoken connection with a soulmate feels like. It's in the way they notice your energy shift before you say a word. You walk into a room with a forced smile, trying to hold it together, and they see right through it. They ask, "Are you okay?" before anyone else even realizes you're not. They don't need clues. They feel you intuitively. It's not about being hyper-observant or nosy. It's about attunement. When someone's soul is connected to yours, they pick up on your inner world almost instinctively. And here's the wild part. They don't just notice it, they respond to it in exactly the way you need, without you ever having to ask. Number 1. They sense your emotional state, even through silence. Ever been in a room with someone and felt seen without having to speak? Your soulmate will feel your emotional shifts even when you're trying to hide them. It's not just that they ask if you're okay, it's how they do it. Gently, respectfully, and with a calm that invites you to open up, not shut down. It's like their presence alone gives you permission to feel, to break down, to be messy, to stop pretending. That's the magic of unspoken connection. Number 2. They match your energy without mimicking you. This part is subtle but deep. Your soulmate naturally adjusts to your emotional energy, not to mirror it, but to support it. If you're anxious, they ground you. If you're joyful, they amplify it. If you're numb, they bring gentle warmth. It's like an invisible emotional dance where both of you are instinctively in step. And this kind of energetic synergy doesn't come from effort. It comes from resonance. Number 3, you feel understood, even when you don't make sense. This is the one people overlook all the time. You might be venting, spiraling, or trying to explain how you feel, but your words just come out messy, contradictory, or jumbled. Instead of judging, correcting, or offering solutions, they just get it. They hear what's beneath the words. They understand your emotion before your logic even catches up. Most people miss this because we're trained to value good communication. And yes, it's important. But a soulmate? They connect with the part of you that speaks without language. That moment when you say, "I don't even know what I'm feeling," and they quietly nod and say, "It's okay, I'm here." That's everything. Number 4, eye contact feels like a full conversation. You can look at each other from across the room and know what the other is thinking or feeling. There's a deep, calming familiarity in their eyes. Not just attraction, but a kind of safety that makes you feel like you're home. It's not romantic 24/7. Sometimes it's just a glance that says, "I've got you," or "I know you're tired," or even "Let's get out of here." Words optional. Connection constant. Number 5, they remember the details no one else would. You mentioned once that a certain song helped you get through a hard time. 2 months later, they send it to you on a rough day without saying a word. Or you casually shared a story about your childhood, and they reference it with compassion, not performance. They're paying attention to what matters, not just to what you say, but to how things affect you. The way they remember is not to impress you, it's to honor you. Number 6, your energy feels lighter when they're around. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to entertain them. You don't even have to talk. Being in their presence actually replenishes you instead of draining you. You walk away from time together feeling more yourself, not less. That's the mark of a soul-level connection. And it goes both ways. You notice that they seem to breathe easier around you too. That's because your energies are in harmony, not fighting to coexist. Number 7, you have emotional synchronicities. This one might give you chills. Ever start thinking about them, only to get a text or call at that exact moment? Or maybe you both bring up the same topic out of nowhere. It feels like you're both living in the same emotional current. Soulmate energy often shows up in patterns, coincidences, and moments of deep alignment that logic can't explain. But here's the thing. It's not about the spooky twin flame drama. It's about resonance. When two people are so emotionally attuned that they naturally orbit the same thoughts, moods, and needs. Number 8, you feel calm, not adrenaline. A lot of people confuse intensity with connection. But your soulmate doesn't give you a roller coaster. They give you peace. That subtle feeling that you don't have to perform or protect yourself. You're just held. Yes, there's chemistry, but it's not chaotic. It's not addictive. It's safe. It settles your nervous system instead of hijacking it. Number 9, you don't feel the need to explain who you are. You don't have to justify your quirks, your moods, your past, your dreams. They just fit with you. There's an unspoken acceptance that's so rare. It feels like a miracle. They know your story, even the painful chapters, and they stay. If you've felt even one of these signs with someone, it's not an accident. Unspoken connection is the foundation. Everything else builds on this. And if you're thinking of someone right now, don't ignore that inner nudge. Because the ones who are truly meant for us, they don't shout. They simply show up and feel like home. They anticipate your needs before you speak. This isn't mind reading, it's soul recognition. Engagement prompt. Comment below if someone's ever done this for you. It's rarer than you think. There's something surreal about being truly seen. Not just listened to, not just tolerated, but understood. Before you even form the words, they already know what you're about to say or why you're hesitating to say it. That's the second sign of a soulmate. They understand you so effortlessly, it feels like they're reading your mind. But what they're actually doing is recognizing your soul. Because when you share a soul connection with someone, understanding isn't earned, it's innate. Number 1, they pick up on your needs before you realize them yourself. This isn't about someone being clingy or overly attentive. It's about subtle awareness. Let's say you've had a long day. You don't vent. You don't complain. But your soulmate senses the tension in your body, the way your voice drops just slightly, or how your replies are shorter than usual. And without asking, they do something, small but meaningful. They bring your favorite snack without saying a word. They turn the lights down low and give you space. Or they pull you into a hug that says you don't need to explain. It's not magic, it's the result of deep, natural empathy. Their soul is tuned into yours. Number 2, they know how to comfort you your way. Some people think comfort is one size fits all. Say something kind, give a pep talk, offer a solution, but your soulmate doesn't generalize your pain. They tailor their comfort to what you actually need. If you're someone who needs silence, they'll sit with you in it. If you need reassurance, they won't hold back. If you need to cry without fixing anything, they'll hold that space. You don't have to teach them how to love you when you're low. Somehow they just know. Number 3, they give you space when you need it, without taking it personally. This is a rare one. In most relationships, needing space can trigger fear or insecurity. But with a soulmate, there's a quiet trust. They don't ask, is it something I did? They just sense it and say something like, take all the time you need. I'm here. It's not detachment. It's confidence in the bond. They understand that your need for solitude isn't a rejection, it's a recharge. That kind of emotional maturity? That's not common. That's soul-level understanding. Number 4, you don't need to over-explain your boundaries. You say, I can't talk about this right now, and they don't push. You say, this makes me uncomfortable, and they adjust. No guilt trips. No manipulation. Just respect. It's not that boundaries never come up, but when they do, they're honored. Because your soulmate doesn't view boundaries as walls. They see them as doorways into loving you better. Number 5, they translate your silences. You know those moments when you go quiet, not out of anger, but because your mind is processing. A soulmate doesn't rush you to speak. They don't fill the silence with noise. They listen to it. And later, when you're ready, they'll say something like, I figured you just needed a little space to think. Not as a guess, but as something they felt deeply. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. But your soulmate, they understand it. Number 6, they mirror your thoughts without mimicking your words. You're talking through a problem, unsure of what you even believe. And they respond in a way that reflects exactly what you've been trying to say, but clearer, more grounded. It's like they speak your thoughts back to you, but in a way that makes them make sense. You feel heard, not just repeated. Validated without being simplified. That's rare. Number 7, they remember what matters, even if it seems small. You once told them that you hate loud spaces when you're overwhelmed. You didn't say it like it was a big deal. But weeks later, they quietly steer you away from a chaotic scene into a quieter space. It's not about grand gestures. It's about little acts of emotional fluency. The fact that they noticed, remembered, and responded, that's understanding without effort. That's soul work. Number 8, they know when to challenge you and when to simply be there. Not every moment needs advice. Not every situation needs a lesson. Your soulmate knows the difference. They'll challenge you when you're stuck in self-sabotage, but they'll just sit with you when you're grieving. They don't use your vulnerability as an excuse to fix you. They use it as a cue to support you. And when they do challenge you, it's never from ego. It's from love. Number 9, you feel seen, not scrutinized. The more they get to know you, the more they seem to love you. Not in spite of your complexity, but because of it. You don't feel like a puzzle to solve. You feel like a whole person they're already aligned with. You might ask, why do you just get me? And they'll say something like, I don't know, I just do. That's soul recognition, not logic. If someone has ever understood, you like this, before you could even explain yourself, drop a comment below. Because it's rarer than people think. Most relationships operate on effort. Soulmate connections move on energy. And when someone understands you at this level, that's not just emotional compatibility. That's spiritual resonance. A soulmate doesn't just love you, they guard your peace. Watch for this subtle but powerful behavior. Shock factor. Most toxic relationships fake this. But here's how to spot the real deal. Not every soulmate walks in with armor and loud promises. Some protect you in silence, in the way they filter the world for you, without ever making it about them. They guard your energy, your mental space, and your emotional safety, like it's second nature. This isn't possessiveness. It's not jealousy. It's protection rooted in love, not control. Because a true soulmate doesn't just love who you are. They fiercely protect what makes you feel safe, sane, and seen. Number 1. They never let the world dim your light. When someone says something hurtful, or even just casually dismisses you, your soulmate notices. They don't always confront people publicly. Sometimes they'll wait until you're alone, look you in the eye and say something like, "What they said was out of line. Don't carry it." They validate your experience. They guard your spirit. They're the buffer between you and the parts of the world that don't get you. Number 2. They protect your name, even when you're not around. Here's a silent, sacred kind of love. Someone who defends you when you're not in the room. If someone jokes at your expense or questions your intentions, they step in, not out of anger but out of honor. You'll never hear about it unless you ask, because they're not doing it to score points. They're doing it because loyalty isn't an act for them, it's who they are. Number 3. They know when to step back, so you can step into your power. Protection doesn't always mean jumping in to fix things. Sometimes it means standing beside you while you face it. Your soulmate knows the difference. They won't take over your battles. They'll empower you to fight them, but never alone. They'll say, "You've got this, and I've got you." That balance of support and trust, that's the real deal. Number 4. They protect your peace from their own storms. Let this one sink in. They don't dump every bad mood or frustration on you. They know the difference between sharing and projecting. They tell you what's going on, but they don't make it your burden to carry. And when they do need support, they ask, clearly, respectfully. They don't make you guess, walk on eggshells, or absorb their chaos. That's not repression. That's emotional responsibility. Number 5. They create a space where your nervous system can relax. You feel it in your body before you realize it in your mind. Around them, your shoulders drop, your breath deepens, your guard lowers. Why? Because you know instinctively that you're safe. They never mock your anxiety, minimize your fears, or weaponize your past. Instead, they meet you with grounded calm. When the world is spinning, they are your steady. Number 6. They never use your vulnerability against you. This is a major red flag in toxic relationships, and the clearest green flag in soulmate ones. You can share your wounds, your worst days, your deepest insecurities, and they never throw it back in your face. Not during arguments, not when they're upset, never. Instead, they guard those parts of you like something sacred. Because to them, that's exactly what they are. Number 7. They don't need credit for what they protect. They do the dishes without mentioning it because they know you're overwhelmed. They handle a conversation you were dreading. They remove stress before you even notice it. They don't bring it up later. They don't ask for applause. They protect your peace because they want you to have peace. That's the entire motive. Number 8. They step between you and emotional harm, even from family. This one hits deep. If your family says something that crosses a line, your soulmate doesn't sit silently. They gently but firmly draw the boundary, not to cause drama, but to protect you from emotional erosion. Even if it makes things uncomfortable, they make it clear. If it hurts you, it's not okay. And they'll never make you choose between loyalty to them or to the people you love. They help you protect both, but never at the cost of your well-being. Number 9. They take responsibility for how they affect your peace. When they mess up, and yes, even soulmates do, they own it. No gaslighting, no denial, no twisted arguments. Just, "I realize how that affected you. I'm sorry." And then they change. Not just once, consistently. Because protecting your peace isn't about being perfect, it's about being conscious of your impact. Here's the truth most people don't want to admit. Toxic partners can fake protection. They pretend to care by isolating you from others, masking control as concern. But here's how you tell the difference. Real protectors make you feel freer, not smaller. Safer, not dependent. Stronger, not scared. So ask yourself this. Does the person in your life make your world feel safer, calmer, more like you? If so, that's not just love. That's soul-level protection. The growth mirror. They challenge you in ways no one else does, but never tear you down. This is the #1 sign of a true life partner. Story hook. I didn't believe this until it happened to me. Most of us are taught that love should feel easy, that if it's meant to be, it should flow without friction. But here's the truth. The person who truly sees your soul won't just make you feel good. They'll also wake you up. Not in a harsh way, not with force, but in a way that shakes something loose inside of you. Your patterns, your fears, your potential, your truth. A soulmate is a mirror, but not just any mirror. They reflect the version of you that you could be, the version you forgot, or buried, or stopped believing in. And they do it with so much love, it's disarming. #1, they hold you accountable, with tenderness. They notice when you're sabotaging yourself, when you're settling, when you're stuck in a story that no longer serves you. And instead of criticizing, they gently say, "You're better than this, and I know you feel it too." It's not judgment, it's remembrance. They remember who you are even when you forget. #2, they push you to speak your truth, even when it's hard. Your soulmate won't let you shrink to keep the peace. If you're biting your tongue, hiding your needs, or avoiding uncomfortable truths, they'll nudge you lovingly back to your voice. Say it. I can handle it. Your feelings matter, even if they're messy. They make space for the real you, not just the polite or polished version. #3, they don't feed your ego. They feed your evolution. Plenty of people will flatter you, but your soulmate will tell you the truth. Not to hurt you, but to help you rise. You say you want this, but your actions are telling a different story. You're capable of more, and I'll be right here while you go after it. They don't compete with your growth. They support it. #4, they make growth feel like safety, not shame. With the wrong person, feedback feels like rejection. But with your soulmate, it feels like safety. You don't feel small when they point something out. You feel seen. Even when they challenge you, it's clear. I'm not saying this because you're broken. I'm saying it because you're powerful. That kind of challenge is rare and priceless. #5, they don't leave when it gets uncomfortable. Growth brings up wounds, triggers, old fears. But your soulmate doesn't run when the healing gets hard. They lean in. They say, "I'm not going anywhere. Let's walk through this together. You don't have to fix it all today, but I'll hold your hand while you try." They normalize the mess. They honor the process. They stay. #6, they inspire you to break cycles. You notice it in small ways. You react less. You communicate more honestly. You stop betraying yourself for validation. And they're the reason. Not because they're perfect, but because their presence activates a higher standard in you. You want to meet them there, not from pressure, but from alignment. #7, they encourage your dreams, even the ones you've hidden. You might bring up something half-jokingly like, "I've always kind of wanted to write a book, but I don't think I'd be good at it." And instead of brushing it off, they light up. "You absolutely should. I see it. You'd be amazing." And just like that, your dreams feel possible again. #8, they mirror your emotional depth. They don't just challenge your potential. They meet you in your shadow too. When you're angry, they stay curious. When you're sad, they don't try to fix you. When you're scared, they hold steady. They don't just reflect the best in you. They embrace the whole of you. And that's where real growth begins. #9, they're growing too. This is what makes it work. It's not just you evolving. They're on their own growth path too. You challenge each other, learn from each other, heal with each other. You become co-creators of something that's alive, changing, and deeply sacred. It's not always smooth, but it's always real. Here's what I realized. The most powerful love doesn't just feel like comfort. It feels like transformation. And when someone loves you enough to hold up a mirror, not to judge, but to remind you who you really are, that's not confrontation. That's devotion. So ask yourself this. Is there someone in your life who challenges you without shaming you? Who calls you higher while still holding your hand? That's not just a partner. That's your growth mirror. That's your soulmate. The unshakable safe space. With them, you're free to be your messy, imperfect self. Most relationships fail this test. Don't settle. Call to action. Subscribe, share, and tag someone who makes you feel the safe. Let's be honest. Most of us have been in relationships where we felt like we had to perform to be loved, to filter ourselves, to hide our worst days and dress up our emotions so we wouldn't seem too much. But with a soulmate, all of that falls away. Because when someone's truly aligned with your soul, they don't just accept your best. They embrace your mess too. They become your safe space, not just a comforting presence, but a liberating one. With them, you don't feel like you're too sensitive, too intense, or too complicated. You just feel like you. And that feeling, that's rare. And it's everything. Number 1. You never feel like you have to earn their love. There's no scoreboard, no conditions, no silent punishments when you're not your best. Even on your worst day, when you're anxious, grumpy, moody, or withdrawn, they show up. They stay. They remind you, you're safe with me. You don't have to hide. That kind of consistency creates emotional freedom. Number 2, they make room for the real you, even the messy parts. You don't feel like you need to fake positivity or force happiness. If you're struggling, you can say so. And instead of pulling away, they lean in. It's okay to not be okay. You don't have to explain. Just let me be here. There's no pressure to be on, just permission to be. Number 3, you feel safe disagreeing with them. Conflict doesn't feel like walking on glass. You're not afraid to speak your truth, because you know they won't explode, manipulate, or shut down. Instead, they listen. Even when it's hard, they respond, not react. And even if you argue, you never fear losing their love. That safety changes everything. Number 4, your silence is never misinterpreted. You can sit in silence and not feel awkward. You can withdraw to recharge and not be accused of pulling away. They get it. They get you. They don't demand access to your every thought. They trust your process. That kind of emotional intelligence, that's soulmate-level safety. Number 5, you never feel judged for your healing. Whether you're dealing with past trauma, learning how to communicate, or unlearning toxic patterns, they meet you where you are. They don't shame you for the work you still have to do. They support you through it. They say, you don't have to be fully healed to be deeply loved. Number 6, they know how to soothe, not just solve. When you're overwhelmed, they don't rush in with answers. They offer presence, stillness, warmth. They say, you don't have to fix it right now. Let's breathe first. They make you feel emotionally held, even when the world feels heavy. Number 7, your body feels safe around them. This one is huge. Your nervous system recognizes something before your brain does. Around them, your breath slows. Your muscles relax. You feel settled. It's not just attraction. It's regulation. Their energy doesn't just excite you, it calms you. Number 8, they never punish your vulnerability. You can cry, get angry, admit fears you've never said out loud, and they won't throw it back at you in an argument. They won't use it to gain power. They honor it. They know your openness is a gift, and they treat it like one. Number 9, you feel more yourself with them than you do alone. You're not performing. You're not adjusting. You're not trying to keep their interest. You're just showing up as you are, and somehow that's enough. They make you feel like the fullest version of yourself. And in their presence, you remember, you're not too much. You're not broken. You're not hard to love. You're home. Most relationships feel good when things are good, but a soulmate makes you feel safe, even when things aren't. That's the difference. So if you've ever had someone who made you feel this seen, this accepted, this safe, don't take it lightly. Tag them. Share this with them. Subscribe for more soul-level love lessons. Because that kind of connection, it's not just rare, it's sacred.